Hello. Can I start? Oh, damn. Okay. In this talk, we will talk about different ways to install or try plone, because there's more than just one way to do it. Well, that's basically the same. It will tell you there are. We will talk about the different plone installers, the current state, the plans for the future, and hidden secrets in the Unifit installer, for example. Well, that's me, and I work as sysadmin for Friends of the Earth Netherlands. And yeah, I like to install plone on different operating systems. And I'm really sorry, there will be a couple of pictures from kittens in my talk. And this man, some of you may know him, forced me to do that. So, and a really special thank you to these guys. If you see some of them here running around, you just go and talk with them and buy them lots of beer or caipirinhas or whatever you want. Because without them, the installers were not possible at all. And they're really nice, so really do it. So, I like statistics. That are the statistics from plone 4.2.1. And I think it's nice to see that there are still lots of people using the Unifit installer, well, even Windows or OS X. And that brings me to the first questions. What kind of installer or what kind of way do you use to install plone? Let's start Unifit installer. Cool. Windows? Okay. OS X? Wow, interesting. Other ways, like your own built-out deployment systems or whatever? Me too. I use all of them. Okay, I like that. So, this question we have kind of often every year again. Lots of people asking why I can't install plone via apt-get, Jam, or Pacman for my favorite operating system like Debian, Arch, or SUSE. Well, let's have a closer look. This is taken from the officially Arch Linux repository 4 days ago. I don't know if they have something like the third-party not officially repository because I'm not using Arch all the time. But as you can see, I mean, it's still plone 4.2.1, and we are now on 4.3.2. That means it's not really up to date. And this is kind of annoying. The other problem is what you do. Once you install it via Arch, for example here with yum install blah blah. But what will happen, let's say, with the new release of plone? You never know, for example, if these guys from Arch, or it could be also Debian or SUSE or whatever, will make a new release with a new version. And then the next problem, how you do the upgrade. I never saw a plone version distributed via, for example, Arch, where after that, the upgrade to a new version went really good. I mean, I don't know. But we have other ways. For example, what we do have now for plone, since I think 2 releases, or 1 release, Steve, we have Vagrant installers. And they are really nice for developers because you can easily repeat the same build again and again and again. And we have 2 different versions of them. One is, for example, for plone core developers. And we have also one for people who just want to install plone but not the core. Let's say, for example, now we want to install 4.3.2. And now we come to the secrets. Well, actually, they are not really secrets, but lots of people still don't read me or install pages or whatever. And that is sometimes annoying, but yeah, we have it still. For example, what we have and what's maybe not so much known is we have script. It's called install plone dependencies. We will talk about that in a minute. Or we have, and that's really handy, in the Unif installer, there are lots of built-in options. And that's really, really handy sometimes. But first talk about installing dependencies. Lots of people still forgetting to install all the dependencies which you need to run plone on the server, because basically they download the plone version, then they try to install it, and then the operating system or plone itself in the builder is complaining they are missing certain dependencies. To solve this problem, or trying to solve this, we came up with a script. It's called install dependencies, basically. At the moment, currently supported is Debian, Ubuntu, and CentOS. And what it basically does, you can start it up, and then you get this nice wipe tail interface, which is telling you what you're doing to do, and you can either stop it or say you want to continue. And basically, it's checking for your operating system, and after that, it's checking for missing packages, and after that, it's asking you, do you want to install it? And you can always cancel and then run it from hand later. And it comes also with a really nice help page. Or if you just want to install the dependencies, but you don't want to see all the boring graphical stuff again, you can also run this with options like min Ubuntu, min Debian, and then it's just checking for your certain operating system. And now we come to the built-in install options, which are really nice. I, for example, use all the time configure my passwords, because I like for test setups to have easy passwords. And then you can just say for installers h min password is equal your password, and then if you want to use standalone or zero. Also really handy, for example, if you're using CentOS is using static LXML, which builds your LXML. Otherwise, it will not. If you don't do that on CentOS, for example, it will not work really well. It will not work at all. And also really handy is to say, build me my own Python, because I want to use a system Python. I mean, it speaks for itself. And now we come to the Plone 5 sneak preview. And starting with the Unifil installer, what we want to do is to find some way to include the dependency check in the Unifil installer. We're still not sure at the moment how we want to do it in a really nice way, but it would be really nice, because otherwise you have to run first another script, and that's just not handy. And the other thing what we really want to do is to include skeleton generators for building up the other themes, dexterity or portlets. The whole idea is that it's for beginners easier to start developing. So you just can run the installer, and after that, the build out, and after that you can say, I want to have now a skeleton for the other theme, because I want to try out my first theme. For Windows, it's a bit more, but that is also because the Windows installers need more love. That basically means if you're good with Windows, you should have this guy, Giacomo, because he's doing at the moment the Windows installer, but he's alone, so he really needs help. And what we really want to have is, first of all, better and beautiful documentation for end users on Windows, but sometimes building Plone on Windows is different from building on OS X or on Linux. And also, we don't have much documentation at the moment about how we are building, or how he is building the installer on Windows. So it would be also nice to have that. Next steps are, we want to update Python. We are still running on Python 2.6, I guess, at the moment, because there were problems with 2.7 last time we tried it on Windows. And also, how the installation process works on Windows, or better, let's say, to build an installer on Windows, Windows or Microsoft is asking you have to sign stuff, otherwise it will pop up messages. So we are thinking about buying an official license to sign the installer. And also we want to include more languages, because in the moment it's just English, and we want to install different languages. It makes it easier for people to install it. And of course, we want to have installation options like you can choose between ZeroDB or standalone. Well, basically the same is for the OS X installer. We have some nasty bugs since a couple of months or releases, but we had no time to fix them that, and we are working on that. Otherwise, the installer itself, it's basically the Unifit installer built out, but then a bit changed. But the whole idea is to make the build-out scripts for OS X more Mac-like, that we rip out all the stuff which is checking for stuff on Linux machines and just have a plain OS X installer, because then the code base is smaller and easier to maintain. And also we're working on documentation for maintainers and also new documentation for users, especially for OS X. And that is the next big thing for Plone 5. We want to have automated tests for all the installers on different operating systems, because at the moment we're doing that more or less from hand or with dirty bash scripts and OpenVZ containers, what is working some way, but it would be nice to hook it up to Jenkins and then get the output from Jenkins. So, and now we're coming to the fun part. Because there are also other ways if you want to try or install Plone. For example, we have some kind of appliances like Turnkey, which gives you basically a completely image. It's Debian based. You can start it up and then you just run it. That is good on the other hand. It's less good on the other side, because we don't know what they are doing. They tweak the installation process and the Plone setup on their appliance that it fits in the infrastructure from Turnkey. So we have no control about how they're setting up stuff and in which places they install libraries or whatever. That makes it really hard if people asking for help to help them, because we don't basically know how Turnkey is doing the stuff. And we also never know when they upgrade, will they upgrade at all and stuff like that. But if you are using appliance stuff and you're using already Turnkey and you just want to try it out, I mean, why not? And basically the same goes for Bitnami. We also have no control about Bitnami, and it's the same like Turnkey. If you use it, okay. If you want to try it, okay. But it's different. There are also some proof of concept now for OpenShift or Juju. OpenShift is a platform as a service from Red Hat, and Juju is the same from Ubuntu. We wrote for both of them a proof of concept, but we never seriously tried to take them to the production level, because before we invest time to do that, we really want to know that people actually are using that stuff at all. I mean, it was nice to see how it went and how it's going. But yeah, it's just time consuming to write it and then no one's using it. And then we have more. We have new since 2 weeks Plone app VirtualBox. That's a VirtualBox image based on Ubuntu 12.04, the latest LTS version. And the main focus is really, really user-friendly. Plone comes pre-built on the machine with working Nginx. And lots of end-user documentation. And if you start up the VirtualBox and log in the first time, you get a nice pop-up which is saying your IP number, your username, your password, where you have to browse to, and then you can try it out. And we have also Plone Gov Brazil, which is also a VirtualBox-based image, and we made it, I think, like 3-4 months ago. 4 guys here in Brazil from Plone Gov to try it out. Basically, it is a build out of the current version, what was mentioned and officially released 3 days ago. So it's also worth a try, and it's also nice. And then, if you're really a Linux nerd and you like doing crazy stuff, you can also try out NixOS. NixOS is a Nix-based Linux distribution, and you can snapshot it easily, and you just can install there from the package repository. But yeah, I mean, it's I think it's really just for trying out, but you have the same problems which I already told you from Debian, Arch Linux, or whatever. But this is at least actively maintained by Rock Gabas, so it should work. And if you like pip, you can also use plock. That is really its plone installation, like pip install plone, and then you get it. It's from Mark Clark, and I tried it. It's working. So if you want to try plone out and you live pip, why not? And you can also do it with deployment tools. This is, for example, what I use to install it on for testing on Debian and Ubuntu. It's just 3 lines, really easy, dirty Ansible. It's no fancy stuff at all, but it's just doing the job and working. So if you are in deployment stuff, and I mean, you can also do it with Puppet, Chef, CF Engine. It also depends what you're using in your infrastructure. And this is also a kind of proof of concept with the idea to try to make the Unifit installer more user-friendly. So I was playing with some kind of fake GUI. It's also whiptail based. And it's because people are less scared if they get something like this. If normal people have to do something like install sh min standalone or whatever, they're getting scared sometimes. And that is doing the same in the background, but it's looking a bit nicer. And basically, you can choose between standalone 0. And basically, that was all. Any questions? Cool. Oh, I have a question.
How does it work? Like the normal plone, we see some products living in central place, and when you run build out, it's automatically upgraded or something. Can we make our own product? So like we have different installation in different server, but we want one product to be upgraded everywhere when we rerun the build out. Can we do something like that and put the code somewhere central?
I mean, you could, but this is then we are talking not really about installation anymore. But I mean, in theory, you could do that with Puppet or Ansible or Fabric or what you want.
Sorry, it was
No, it's fine. More questions? That is good. Cool. Okay, then that was all. Thank you.